All right, Tiff, we're live.
We live. Hey, everybody.
We're live. See, we're gonna start with here. I like this guy. Let me start with this guy.
Do you believe that? Do you believe all white people are inherently racist?
So, I don't know if you're backing me into a corner with that question, but yes, I do.
All right. First of all, I want to start off by saying the audacity of this white woman to even ask such a question. They were having a dialogue about critical race theory, and she just threw this question in there. But since she did, let's get at it. This type of question is like asking, are all people inherently thieves? A lot of people will say, I've never stole a thing in my life. But then the question has to be asked, have you ever been put in a circumstance that strips you down to the core of who you are? Like, would you steal if you were starving? Or have your children ever been hungry? Your answers change based off of things like that. Well, the legacy of white supremacy has created a world that white people don't have to be racist in today. This is why it's so crazy when you run into somebody who actually is racist. It's like, you guys won and got away with everything. What are you mad about? What are you tripping about? Follow the language. Wherever you find their language, you will most likely find the most brutal forms of rape, torture, murder, pedophilia, slavery, deception, etc. How many Africans do you have speaking French, but they're not from France? Go all through South America, you'll run into black, brown, and red people who are speaking Spanish and they're not from Spain. Ask the Congolese people what happened when they came into contact with the white folks coming out of Belgium. Over 10 to 15 million of them murdered, mutilated, killed, children's body parts being hung up in the middle of the streets to make an example of who's in power there. Go to Brazil and see original people speaking Portuguese, but they're not from Portugal. Ask the Aborigines what happened when they came into contact with white folks in Australia. Hell, I'm speaking English right now, and ask the African and the Native Americans what happened when we came into contact with the English. Go to Bermuda and watch the Queen of England on their money, etc., etc., etc. The same story. Different countries with different white folks who all woke up with the same idea to go around the world and brutalize indigenous people. So the barbaric whites come in and take everything, and then the good whites come behind and drink tea and treat you right? Maybe you don't have to show inherit racism because you inherited a legacy of racism that affords you the privilege to not have to be racist. Yeah, it's easy to be nice when 91% of nuclear warheads is owned by Russia and America. How we all act when Africa is a superpower with weapons of mass destruction like every other independent nation? Because ain't nothing more dangerous or racist than a scared white person. Could you trust a nigga with a trigger? I do believe that there are solid white folks in this climate who may want better for all. White people today have the chance to show a better face through action, not through lying about history, like how public school taught me that the first president, George Washington, never told a lie and then skipped over all the slaves that he owned. Bottom line, our days of trying to figure out if there are some good white folks, those days are over. Our only job is to produce independent culture that empowers us, that protects us, and that makes us less vulnerable to every damn thing.
All right. He just reinforced my statement. Create our own world and live in it.
I don't fit in. That's hell. It's hell when you can't be around your peers. All my life I grew up around black people, poor people, but I can't live around poor people now because they'll rob me. And why would they rob me? Because they're starving, because there's no money here. But they're telling me, now that I made a little money, I have to move here. So it's not like no one's ever trying to deal with this section. They're just moving away from it. And we're going to have more stars coming from together, but they're gonna all move this way. You know what I'm saying? So it's like all the society is doing is leeching off the ghetto. They use the ghetto for their pain, for their sorrow, for their culture, for their music, for their happiness, for their movies, to talk about boys in the hood. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be another I don't want to be 50 years old at a BET We Shall Overcome Achievement Awards. You know what I'm saying? Not me. You know, I want when they see me, they know that every day when I'm breathing, it's for us to go farther. You know, every time I speak, I want the truth to come out. You know what I'm saying? Every time I speak, I want to shiver. You know, I don't want them to be like, they know what I'm going to say because it's polite. They know what I'm going to say. And even if I get in trouble, you know what I'm saying? Ain't that what we're supposed to do? I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else watching us. We might not be the ones, but let's not be selfish, and because we're not going to change the world, let's not talk about how we should change it. I don't know how to change it, but I know if I keep talking about how dirty it is out here, somebody going to clean it up.
Man, Tupac, I love him, he says.
Yeah.
Let's speak the truth. All right.
It wasn't Kanye West that put the White Lives Matter t-shirt on first. You did. You did by intentionally ignoring what Black Lives Matter would actually mean if it was applied. It would mean taking a look at the real problem that is happening, which is our culture, a celebration of perversity pitched to us as if it's diversity. It's not. It is not diversity that we are celebrating. It is perversity. You think that it's something to be proud of. It's not. So when you say something like, oh, Candace Owens, we don't want you in our culture. You don't understand Black culture. I have to keep reminding you that I don't want to be a part of this culture. I want to go backward. Your idea of progressivism is clearly regressive.
Candace Owens.
Two things can be true at once. You can both say that George Floyd didn't deserve to die, no matter how you believe he died. Nobody deserves to die, in my opinion. And you can also say that objectively, this person that did die was not a saint. This person was not an angel.
Candace Owens, that rotten bitch. She's the worst. I can't think of a worse way to make money. She's the most articulate idiot I've ever seen in my fucking life. She's so articulate, she can tell you how fucking stupid she is precisely. And she told George Floyd's rap record on the internet, oh, he was this, he did that, and he's a drug addict, and he's not a hero, and why does the Black community make him a hero? Why do you choose him as a hero? We didn't choose him, you did. They killed him, and that wasn't right, so he's the guy. We're not desperate for heroes in the Black community. Anyone that survives this nightmare is my goddamned hero.
All right. Let's get it. You ready, Tiff?
Yes, I'm ready.
With the knowledge you gain, break away from the chains. We helping you grow, the Black Therapy Show. You be in a safe space, dealing with the Black trauma. We unpacking and inspecting all our baggage and drama. Cause we gotta unite, no more killing each other. It's time to see a new future for my sisters and brothers. You know, with Kevin, Carl, and Tiffany, you'll have an epiphany. We'll give you everything you need to handle the enemy. We're giving you empathy, we gon' challenge you mentally. The right conversation so you grow exponentially. We built your penitentiaries, we built all your schools. Gave us brainwash education, just making us fools. Hatred was what we got in exchange for love. No more manipulation from my God up above. No, it's Carl, Kevin, and Tiffany. Now welcome to the Black Therapy Show. Let's go.
Yeah. What up, Tiff? What's
Hey,
up?
Carl. Where's Kevin at? Kevin, where you at?
Kevin's supposed to be here. You know, Kevin is a traveling man, so he's probably parking his Beamer in his garage and running up the stairs right now. Excuse me. Welcome. Thank you everyone for joining us, for taking another hour out of your Sunday to spend with the Black therapist, Carl, Kevin, and Tiffany. You have an epiphany.
Yeah, we're not documented, so I don't want y'all to be like, well, we don't see no documents. No, the Black Therapy Show, having the conversation.
That's all we do. That's what our show is about. The show is about just having a conversation about what's going on with Black people and how can we move Black people forward. And as I've been saying for the last couple of shows, we want to create our own world and live in it. I actually said that to a white friend of mine, and she wasn't offended, but she was like, "Why would you want to create your own world? Like, we should all be together. We should all come together and live together. Why would you want to create your own world?" I said, well, white people create their own world. You know, Asians create their own world. You know what I mean? We go in their world and we come out, we buy stuff or whatever, and we come out. We can create our own world. I'm not saying create our own world and keep everybody else out. I'm saying create our own world and live in it. If people want to come in, they're welcome to come in. But it's our little world. But she thought that that I may create our own world, our own little black world, and keep everybody else out of that.
That's what she heard. That was the thing that
Yes.
was going on in her head. Not even saying what you mean, like, but that's just something what she heard.
Yeah, so she got very flustered by me. The thought of black people creating their own world and living in it, I'm not even sure how to take that. Like, what does that mean? Like, why are you so, bothered? I mean, other groups do it.
Right. Why we can't create our own space, create our own black economics.
Right.
Because we see that everybody else, they don't care. We see what's going on in today's society. So we have to create our own.
Yes. And we are not the kind of people. Have there ever been a case, and you can tell me, Tiff, because I wasn't born here, where a group of black people got together, went to a white neighborhood and burned it down or shot the white people, killed them?
No, we would know.
Has it ever happened?
No, I never heard of such things. We was not raised or taught to do that. We was always raised to turn the other cheek. So we don't do that. We don't work on that level.
Yeah,
we work on survival mode always.
I don't understand why. What was the fear factor with black people get together? Anyway, folks, please like, share, subscribe to our channel. Hit the notification bell so you get notified when the Black Therapy Show goes live. Remember, we're here to move black people forward. We're not here to bitch complain. We don't call black women hoes. We don't say black men and shit. We're creating our own world and we're going to live in it. Today's topic is we're going to talk a bit about Candace Owens and Kanye West and people of that stature, that nature. Black people who we look at them and we shake our heads. Just look at you, go, what is wrong with you? What is going on in your head? What kind of life are you living to make you think the way you think? But the way I forgot what I said in the topic in the YouTube topic. I think I said Kanye West and Candace Owens, they're not always wrong. And that's true. I mean, they have their opinions, and some of the stuff they say is true. And one of the things Candace Owens was talking about in one of the clips I just showed, which I don't agree with, she's talking about the hip hop culture, how it's destroying the black community and how it's not good. And, she's talking about, well, not in the particular clip, but she's spoken about Cardi B and kind of lyrics Cardi B uses and the derogatory stuff and all the swearing and stuff. But and Tiffany, you can tell me, is that black culture? Aren't the majority of black people educated?
I don't consider it black culture. I just think that it's a bit much. Like, remember, I'm during the time of when hip hop started. So it wasn't about all your clothes off. Like, if you look at the hip hop videos, everybody was fully dressed. Like you can't hear the music on the radio. Like I'm in the cab and I'm listening to the music and it was like X-rated all the way through. And I'm like, they're playing this. What happened to After Dark? Or in the evening time when the children is sleeping, they start playing the explicit. Because I know we all adults, but the music is definitely different. The look of it is very different, but I also think it's up to the parents, to control what your children see. If you don't want your children to see this or listen to it, you can control it and replace it with reading, with going to the music, like doing all these different things so they won't be able to get attached to it. Because I think it's a bit much. Like I said, it's not like it used to be. It's totally different. It's very sexual. I mean, the music today is very sexual.
My point is, it does not represent the majority of black people.
No, it don't.
So why would, you know what I mean? But it's like people like Candace Owens and other people were like rap music is bringing us down, it's making us look bad. That is just such a small segment of black culture, of what black people are about. I don't understand why we would use that to describe, you know what I mean, the entire culture. Like, I don't think she's. I don't listen to rap. I mean, I listen to some rap, but I mean, I can take it or leave it.
Right. I don't think it's the whole culture because remember, it's a percentage of everything, not all of us because she's a certain percentage. Because to be honest with you, I have a love-hate relationship with Candace Owens' remarks. I feel like she's a very smart woman, but then she'll say something like with the Floyd, yes, he is a human being, regardless to what was his background or what was going on. He shouldn't have been killed in front of everybody on video by a cop. A cop don't supposed to do that. He wasn't being threatening to him. He didn't do anything. He told him he could not breathe. That was out of order, And if you felt like you wanted to voice that, you should have said that at your kitchen table. Why would you say that and say it where people is going to feel a certain type of way about it? So I have a love-hate relationship because she's very smart. If you listen to her, she got a message, but then she'll say something, you'd be like, no, she didn't. She could have kept that to herself.
Yeah. Well, let me shout. Norma Staley's checking in. What's up, Norma? How you doing, Grandma? Jennifer Eastman, Addie. What's up, Jennifer? Jennifer, I haven't posted a whole lot of stuff on Facebook recently. Jennifer was one of my regular. Would comment on my posts and we would comment back and forth.
Welcome.
I hope all is well, Jen. I hope all is well. Donna, what's up, Donna? Patricia, where is your second half? I hope you're not I hope you're not ratting out Kev. Kev's telling telling Patricia, yeah, I'm doing the show, and then he's not doing the show. So she can clearly see he's not here with us yet.
Oh, he said he'll be here in 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
He's just taking care of some
Kev,
stuff.
I was trying to cover for you. So,
yeah, he'll be here in 5 minutes.
he just paused his video for a while. I was saying. 8 o'clock? No, we're on at 7 on Sundays. Patricia.
Oh, yes, we have a new time, everybody. Yeah. Please.
7 o'clock
on Sunday.
Yes, 7 o'clock Sundays. So Donna said she needs to turn her black card and go hide under a rock. She needs to turn in her black card and go hide under a rock. Does she need to turn in her black card is what I'm saying. Like, just because some of the things she's saying we don't agree with, should we just totally disregard Candace Owens? Because I get some of the stuff she's saying, but what really pissed me off with her is when she talked about she treated George Floyd like he was nothing. Like, because he had a criminal record, he deserved to die. Even though she said he doesn't deserve to die, she still acted like he deserved to die.
See, and that's what you saw. And remember, you have her, the way she thinks, is how many people think. And remember, this is a world of free speech. So we have to let people say what they say, feel what they say. I just feel like you say it at the wrong time. You do things at the wrong time. The same thing with Kanye. I love Kanye very much, but I really think that right now it's time for him just to be quiet and build your empire. Stop talking too much, because everything that you say, they're going to mix it. They're going to put this here. They're going to snippet this. They're going to snippet that. And I'm going to be honest with you. I listen to him. He's not dumb. I just think that he says the wrong thing at the wrong time, and you don't think about how other people is going to feel. Or maybe he's doing that so he can rile the people up so they can start thinking or they can start listening. I don't know. I think it's a method to his madness. His genius madness.
You think they're trying to move black people forward? You think that's what Candace Owens and Kanye, what people like them are black conservatives? You think they're trying to move black people forward with the way they're talking and thinking? And I mean, basically what they're saying is black people need to stop complaining, and we need to get our shit together. And I'm assuming in their head they're feeling like, I'm telling black people what they need to do. Don't worry about the racism. Don't worry about all this. Focus on opening the business. Focus on doing this. Focus on doing that. We spend too much time complaining about white people is what they're saying.
Right, but that's just real talk. Now we are in 2022. Everything that you just said is just real talk. We have to start just worrying about ourselves right now. Start doing us, taking care of our family, our children. Our children is going to have children. We want to build foundations. So yeah, it's time to start thinking about ourselves right now. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with that because I think that all people matter. I think all human beings matter. But I'm a Black woman, so right now I want to worry about my Black family right now. And it shouldn't be nothing wrong with it. And I shouldn't be judged to feel like that I cannot worry about my family, you know, just because of the color of my skin, you know.
Yeah, because like what do these people want Black people to do? Just sit back and just hope one day that white people will change, that racist white people will change, because America was built, and I'm preaching to the choir because I'm sure you know, Black America was, America was built on white supremacy, right? They built laws so Black people can't buy land, can't own businesses, can't get loans. All those were laws that were passed. Can't buy houses.
Mm-hmm.
The laws of the land.
Just to stifle us, to stop us.
This is not just a group of white people getting together and saying we're not doing. These were actual laws on the book,
right.
And Black people are not allowed to buy a house. You can't, you know what I mean? There were laws where you can't hire a Black person. You can't. And then they passed laws that if you don't have a job, you get arrested.
Right. So it's like you damn if you do, you damn if you don't. Even when we were separated, we had to have businesses. We had over 20 to 30,000 businesses, probably more than that, you know, during our time where we were separated, you know, because they didn't even want us in their stores. They didn't want us in their clothes. They didn't even want us in their area. So when I hear everybody online or people putting up, oh, Balenciaga cut ties with Kanye, for real? They didn't even want us in their garments or their clothes anyway. He's good. Thank you. Next. Actually, rap and hip hop put the top brands on the map, starting with Biggie. Biggie was talking about Versace, talking about all of those clothes, putting them on the map. They never wanted us in their clothes. Hey, Kev.
What up, Kev?
Hey, I apologize for being late. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing out there in the world?
Hey, Kev.
Hey.
Just because I'm the busiest unfamous comedian in the country. That's what I am, everybody. So I'm doing a lot of juggling here. No pun intended. But yeah.
That's so you know, I was trying to be a good brother. I trying to cover for you. Patricia was on, so I was trying to say Kevin was on pause, and
yeah, I was getting calls. I was getting calls from family members. I'm watching the show. You're not on. Where you at?
That's right.
Everybody know how busy I am. I'm a busy man. But I'm here on the show. What's up, everybody?
Hey, what's up? Yeah,
glad to be here.
Hey, man. So we're talking about, as you know, Candace Owens and Kanye West. Like, what are they trying to move Black people forward? Is that what their agenda is, or? You know what I mean? What's their thought process? You know, why do they say what they say? Why do they do what they do? I mean, Black conservatives as a whole, you know, they want...
My opinion...
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. My opinion on that, I want to jump on that quickly because for Kanye West, it's not economics. As we know, has a net worth of $1 billion, so I don't think he's doing it for money. I'm going to say Candace Owens and a lot of others that go down that route of being a Black conservative and doing things, you know, to throw their own people under the bus. It's definitely financial gain. Candace Owens make a lot of money. We always joke about on this show, if we become Trump supporters and become hardcore conservatives and say bad things about Black people, our show will be on Fox in a couple of weeks. We all have $1 million contracts, you know.
Yes, we would.
So yeah, I think it's economics when it comes to Candace Owens and some of the others. Kanye, I think, is just a mental case. I just think that boy has a mental case that just won't quit, and he's going on the wrong road, you know. And funny that he's getting canceled now by a lot of people because he slashed out at Jews, at the Jewish people in his latest comments and his latest rant. He went down on Jewish people, saying negative things about them, and all of a sudden he's getting canceled because he's been dogging, you know, his own people out for a long time. Never been canceled, you know. but you can't say nothing about Jewish people or you're going to get canceled. And he's getting canceled. He's had a couple of people that have stepped away from him now. One of his big sponsors in the fashion world stepped away from him. There's a rumor that JP Morgan is stepping away from him right now. They're on the verge. So he's losing a lot of money and sponsorships because of his rant against Jewish people a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, Tiffany, I'm going to go to you next because I think when Kevin said that.
That bothers me because I know what mental illness looks like. And that's not mental illness. I just think that he's talking, he's expressing himself. We are not in his caliber. He is a billionaire. He see more stuff than we will ever see. Then also, we know how the media is. The media will put in and put out what they want us to see. Yeah, I think that he needs to be quiet and continue to build your empire. Continue to do what you do. But stop talking so much because this is it. People think that something is wrong with him. It's nothing wrong with him. He's telling the truth through his eyes. Just like we sitting here expressing ourselves through what we see, he's expressing himself, But like I said, Balenciaga, all of them want to cut ties with him. None of these fashion brands never wanted us in their clothes. If it wasn't for the hip hop, if it wasn't for basketball players and all of them rocking their stuff, come on, they just saw us as black dollars. So now he's going in on them or they cutting ties with him. Come on. So
you a Kanye clip.
I want to answer the white. I feel like someone caught what I was saying, the comparison to Tanya Hardin about the White Lives Matter. My dad is an educated ex-Black Panther, and he put a text to me that he said, "White Lives Matter, ha, 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 ha." And I said, I thought the shirt was a funny shirt. I thought the idea of me wearing it was funny. And I said, "Dad, why do you think it was funny?" He said, just a black man stating the obvious. Yeah. And, my dad doesn't listen to rap music, and he's like super educated. We opened up a water distribution center in the Dominican Republic together. He's like the original Steve Jobs, but he was getting blocked every which way with all of his ideas. And he didn't have an endless bank account, and he didn't have an Instagram. So all these ideas, he had to take them back and compress them. Like, my dad is the most brilliant person that I know. And we actually have a strained relationship because I was taken from him because my mom was an actress, so she was a liberal. And my dad would see certain things and say, we should do it this way, we should do it that way. And the people got around my mom and pulled her away, much like, Kim is a Christian, but she has people who want her to go to Interview magazine and put her ass out while she's a 40-something-year-old multi-billionaire with 4 black children. And this is how fashion wants to, how they want to present her.
Wow. Oh my God, man. I'm about to punch my phone. Let me tell you something.
You know what?
Let me say this. Let me say this to everybody's watching this. Kanye West can never sit down across from Cornel West and have that same conversation. He can never sit down across from Joe Madison and have that conversation, or any body that and have that conversation. He can sit down across from a Carlson Tucker or any of those people on Fox News and have that conversation. He's not going to be checked. They're not going to check him. They're just going to nod their head in agreement. They're going to let him run his pie hole. But it is no way he could sit and have that conversation across from a Karen Hunter or Joe or anybody like that, or Joe Madison.
Yeah, what part of that conversation really? The part when he said that his dad said "White Lives Matter," ha ha ha. Or...
Yeah, there's nothing funny about black people being killed by police officers. There's nothing haha about that. There's thousands of bodies in the cemetery, and there's thousands of bodies that would never be found that have lost their lives to the hands of police officers who abuse their badge. Okay, so yes, police officers have been killing black people since slavery, because that's when they first came on board, when they were slave catchers, and then they were used to uphold Jim Crow laws, and then we saw what they did, the civil rights movement. When you saw those dogs being sicked on Dr. King and John Lewis being hit over, the dude that hit John Lewis over the head and cracked his skull was a sheriff. It wasn't some just regular dude. He was a sheriff, Alabama sheriff, so a Mississippi sheriff, I think. So yeah. So I'm just saying, all of this, so to make light of, look, Black Lives Matter is not a perfect organization. They've made some mistakes. There's been some fraud, for what I understand, and a lot of other things that went on with the organization. But the bottom line is, the organization came to light for a reason, and it was because we watched Trayvon Martin. I mean, we the murder of Trayvon Martin, and then the movement, yeah. And every movement has, every organization has somebody that's going to pocket some money. I'm in the comedy industry. People steal money every day. We're in show business. People steal money every day. So yeah, all organizations steal money. So I mean, there was a few crooked people in the Black Lives Matter, but we can't let those few crooked people that may have pocketed some money, some donations, hijack the real reason Black Lives Matter existed. You understand? So, and that's what Candace Owens and the rest of these people are doing. They're trying to say, okay, well, look at the bad people in Black Lives Matter, But here's the problem: is they're on a right-wing network saying this. They're not saying this to people that they're not saying this to us. They're saying it to people that don't like us, and that's the part that really, is very frustrating.
I think he did it to have the conversation. Remember, he's a marketing genius also. So I think that he did it also to have the conversation about it. Like I said, I don't agree with a lot of things that he say at that moment, because I think that he shouldn't say it, but I don't think it's that, how can I say it? Why the men, like you said, all the Cornel West, why they can't pull together and get Kanye and talk to Kanye?
Because Kanye doesn't want to talk to Cornel West. He don't want to talk to anybody who's down with trying to move the Black agenda forward. He's down with people. He's down with. You see who he's talking to? He's talking to a guy, Carson Tucker, and he hangs out with Candace Owens, who thinks that George Floyd got what he deserves. So you're hanging out with a person at your fashion show that you invited there, probably paid her big bucks to be there, because she didn't come there for free. She got paid to be there, and I'm sure he paid her because he can afford to pay her. So he put her on a private jet, flew her there, threw a nice T-shirt on her that says "White Lives Matter," and everybody got a fat check, But this same lady thinks that George Floyd deserved what he got. And we all watched that man die over and over and over and over and over again 1,000 times on national television.
That was horrible. What she said was horrible. Like I said, like I was just telling Carl also, I have it's like a love-hate with her comments, because sometimes she could be right on a lot of things, but then some stuff you be like, why did she say that? Like, she shouldn't have even said that. That wasn't even called for, So
man, this chick has made $1 million on saying negative things about people that have her skin color, and she knows what she's doing. There's a market. There's always been a market for it, though. This is nothing new. There's always been a market for people who betray their own people, I mean, that's just, especially if you find a Black person that don't like Black people. I mean, there were people who didn't like Dr. King, they weren't paid millions of dollars because back in those days we lived in a different world. But,
talked about their own people. What other group? Do you see like Latinos on TV talking about?
Right.
Do you see Asians do it? Do you see any other group other than Black people talking about, other Black people? Do you see
they won't be paid. They won't be paid money. Nobody's going to pay an Asian guy to say bad things about Asian people because nobody cares at the end of the line. We are the ones that are under attack. We are the ones that are not liked. I mean, we are the top of the list of hatred for the African Americans in this country. Are at the top of the list, and I say African Americans because there's all people of color here, from other countries that live here. But African Americans are the number one hated people in this world. Just number one hated.
So
let me tell you a quick story. I walked into a car dealership in Connecticut yesterday, and walked to a car dealership in Connecticut, Audi dealership, and I'm carrying my foster kid in my hand. He's not even 2 years old. I'm holding him in my arms, and we walk in, and the lady at the front desk looked like she saw a ghost. And Patricia, my fiance, was about 6 steps behind me, and she noticed it because she said something to me about 2 hours later. I didn't know she even noticed the lady's eyes lit up like she saw a ghost. And the weird thing was, a $70,000 car was purchased when we walked through that door. So, but when we walked through the door, we didn't get that treatment that we're coming to buy a $70,000 car. We got the treatment like we're going to rob the place. So it's just, now if I was a white guy in a suit, and I had a suit on, by the way, and I told Patricia, I wore a suit to the dealership so I can look professional. I didn't want to walk in like in my jean jacket and my jeans. I wanted to wear a suit. So when I walked to the dealership, I can look professional. And even in my suit wasn't enough. That lady still jumped out of her seat when I walked through the door. And I had a baby in my arms, and her eyes went. It was unbelievable. It was unfreaking believable. So we are just feared, hated. It baffles me. It don't matter if you got money. It don't matter if you're on a street corner living on a box. It don't matter if you're in a $70,000 car, you're in a BMW, you live in a big house, you got a prestigious job. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It's crazy, Carl and Tiffany.
So back to what I've been saying, we need to create our own world and live in it, right? I mean, that's basically what Black people need to do. Create our own world, live in it, but we're not going to keep anyone out. Anybody that wants to come into our world, because that's what other groups do. White people created their own world. You know what I mean? Asians created their own world. The Indians created their own world from India. They have their own world.
It's too late for that. It's too late for that.
I think it's what you said, like world. I think it's a community. Having our own,
right? I mean, like create our own little space, like everybody else.
Yeah, because I think when you say world, people feel like, oh my God. Remember, wording is so important. Right. People take words to another level. So when you say world, people like, oh, you just want to be by yourself. Y'all don't want to be down with us. Oh no, we feel threatened. We want your own community that you can build with your community. Practice Black economics.
It can never happen because we already went down that road with Black Wall Street and in town and cities like that, and we saw what happened, and that was our chance to really make it happen. What Carl is asking for, we had that chance 100 years ago in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and other places like that, Rosewood and all those places, and you saw what happened. And it'll happen again. It'll happen again. But let me say something real quickly. Carl. The reason I say it can't happen now is because in the 60s, we begged and fought and pleaded to be a part of the system. As Dr. King said, I'm afraid I brought my people into a burning house. So I think he said, I quote, I'm afraid I brought my people into a burning house, because he even realized after he did all of this fighting to get us integrated and bust into their schools and all this stuff and live in their neighborhoods. And we did all this fighting. He realized that he made a mistake. We're okay when we're by ourselves. We're better off by ourselves. But when we became one, then that's when, and Malcolm X knew that already. That's why he said, He don't even want cream in his coffee because he already knew. He knew. King didn't know, and King fought for us, but Malcolm knew that it was a bad move, and so. But yeah, I just think at this point,
You think it would happen?
how can we reverse? How can we reverse at this point?
You think if all the black people with money created another Black Wall Street, with businesses and all that you think in 2022 that it would be attacked and burned to the ground? You don't think we have the power now where we can maintain the Black Wall Street?
Oprah Winfrey is one of the richest people in our country. She's been that way for over 20 years. Have you seen her make any moves? Let's talk about Kanye West, who's a billionaire. So he look like he's going to help build some. How about Bob Johnson? He look like he's going to do all the black billionaires that we know. They ain't making no moves.
I think it's 7.
Okay, that's a lot of money. 7 billion is a lot of money. And then don't talk about all the millionaires behind that billionaires. There's thousands of black millionaires. And 7 black billionaires, as Tiffany said. But with all that money, nobody. You don't hear LeBron James and Michael Jordan and none. They do things for the community.
You're right about that. That's what
they're doing things for the community, but they're not going to do what Carl is suggesting. It's just not going to happen. I'm being realistic. What Carl's saying sounds good, brother, but keep dreaming. It ain't going to happen.
So basically,
Carl, unless you become a billionaire and put your mouth where your money where your mouth is, then it might happen, brother. But these other cats that already got their billions. Tyler Perry built a nice studio and he employs hundreds of beautiful black people to work in his studio. But that's just for movies. That's not.
He said he did his part.
Yeah, he did his part. He gave some jobs out so everybody can afford them expensive condos in Atlanta.
But I what though, and Kevin, I'm sure you know this too. But when you reach a certain level, because I was at a certain level in comedy, and I had managers. These were white managers telling me if you get to the next plateau, the next level, you got to start distancing yourself from what they call the lower level comics. You got to start. If you become a star, you can't be hanging out with, if Kevin is still working the role, you can't be hanging out with Kevin or hanging out with you know what I mean? So you as a person now you're getting $1 million check, right? Now they're cutting $1 million checks for you. So you now have to make this decision. Am I going to listen to this guy that's planning on making me all this money? Or am I going to say, screw him, I'm going to, go
right.
roll and, you know what I mean?
There's always some politics.
So when you even though Oprah Winfrey's a billionaire, Kanye's a billionaire, there's some person white in there that's a gazillionaire. You know what I mean? They might have billions, but it's somebody white keeping them under control.
I think so too, in a way. Yeah.
Well, like for example, somebody was saying, think about how much money the Los Angeles Lakers make. The whole team. The whole team of the Los Angeles Lakers, all of them, everybody on that team is basically, even the guys that sit on the bench who we don't even know are millionaires, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so just think, they all got one guy that pays them, right? You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. All those millionaires that sit on that bench and play, you got the starting 5 that we all know, LeBron James and all those guys, and Westbrook, all these guys. But then you got the other guys that you don't even know that sit on the bench. They're all millionaires, but only one guy paid them. He's, so that one guy is so rich that he can pay all these millionaires to be millionaires. You understand? It's so much money out here. Yeah. So yeah, there's always going to be somebody richer than the guys that we know,
If you break it down to the bare minimum, it's our fault then.
It's our fault. Yeah. It's our fault. It's our fault. And it's going to continue to be our fault because, like you said earlier in the show, Kanye West, for example, since we're on him, guy who has worth a billionaire now, he's a billionaire. He's doing nothing to move our needle forward. He's doing nothing positive. All this crap he's doing, he ain't built no schools. He ain't built no playgrounds. He ain't put no money into the African American community. He's not doing nothing. I mean, what has he done to move black people forward? You know, I mean, seriously, what has
I
he
like
done?
his music.
I mean, he don't have to publicize it. He could be doing stuff behind our back. I mean, we didn't find out until
Yeah.
Prince passed away. Until Prince passed away, we found out all the stuff Prince was doing. You know, Prince come find out. These people start talking about this stuff Prince was doing. But Prince is never a negative person in our community anyway. But I'm saying Prince is giving out a lot of money and doing a lot of things to help, you know, behind the scenes, and he ain't want to talk about. So, I could be wrong.
Did you hear him talking about his father? He was doing a water project and they kept stopping his father from doing the water project and stuff like that. So I believe that he does do stuff. Like you said, we don't know what goes on behind closed doors. Also, we are not in his money bracket. We don't know what a billionaire go through. You know, he got a billion problems. We got thousandaire problems. You know, so, you know, I'm gonna pray for him. I'm gonna pray for him.
He needs to stay off of Fox News and stop giving them what they want. They feed off of it. They feed off of that stuff, Tiffany. They feed off of. They just love. Look, they hate a guy like Obama. They hate him to death. You know, because, but they're like Herschel Walker. You know, put Herschel Walker next. Put Herschel Walker next to President Obama. You know, I'm just saying, intelligent wise, talk wise. I mean, just everything. Put those two gentlemen next to each other, and Obama is the one with the charisma, tall, handsome guy, speaks well, everything. And the Fox News crew hates his guts because he doesn't embarrass you, he doesn't embarrass you, and he doesn't embarrass me. Herschel Walker is the perfect example of what they believe of us anyway. That's how they want us to be. And that's how they think we are. They think we're big, goofy, dumbass people. And Herschel Walker is a big, goofy, dumbass guy. And that's why they like him. That's why they put him out there.
He's a part of the Get Along crew.
Yeah, they put him out there. You know, that's our guy, Herschel Walker. And he's up there looking like a buffoon, you know. And look like he's at a spelling bee right now, and he's not doing very well, you know. So
that's a good one. He do look like that. You know, I really, you know, we was going to talk about the elections. We want people to go out for the primaries. We want you to go out there and vote. But also, we need some candidates that's going to really do something for us and the community, especially for our youth. I never saw none of those two people yet build anything that's dealing with community base. These young people need some outlets. You know, they need something to do besides taking to the streets.
Black people got to realize I mean, we need to vote whenever there's an election, but we can't wait to vote when there's a presidential election, which is what we do. You know,
right.
You know, we think the president has all this power. The president doesn't.
No, it's almost like the sanctions.
I don't know how we can get that through the Black community's head, that don't wait until the presidential election to go out and vote.
Right.
You know what I mean? Go out and elect judges, sheriffs.
That's right.
I think it's the
senators, council people. Yes.
There's a particular job where this guy, he's the one that determines in whatever community he's elected in. He sets the jail time for certain crimes. So if it's shoplifting, he can say shoplifting.
Attorney General.
He can say shoplifting from today forward. Shoplifting is 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, or whatever. You know what I mean? And we don't focus on that. So now, of course, the most people being arrested are Black, and they go in front of a judge, and then the Attorney General, the person, you know what I mean, got charged with shoplifting. So now the Attorney General that they didn't vote for
is in charge of your life.
Your shoplifting charge is 10 years. That's what the Attorney General said it at. So
right.
You know what I mean? So I'm saying we just got to realize the midterm elections are just as important as the presidential elections. In my opinion, even more important.
I think they're more important because, like you said, there's just small things that affects the community. And like you said, the sheriff, there's a sheriff. There's a sheriff that's running down in one of these southern states that was part of the Oath Keepers. You know,
You
the
see
Oath
that?
Keepers is a very racist group. So, and he's a sheriff. Now you got your sheriff as a member of the Oath Keepers. Are you kidding me? Do some reading on the Oath Keepers
That's
and
right.
realize this guy is your sheriff. But then and he's in charge of the police that police your neighborhood. You in trouble. So yeah, isn't so even these when you drive through your neighborhood and you see all these signs in people's yards, both for
Yeah.
Sheriff Joe Johnson or whatever. You need to go to your computer and do some research on
That's right. Look them up
on
and
Sheriff Joe
check them
Johnson and
out.
find out what they're about because they're in charge, of your force, of your police force, and who they hire, and stuff like that. If he's a member of the Oath Keepers, then he's going to hire other cops that are a member of the Oath Keeper. Then now you got a guy with a badge and a gun that's a member of a group that hates your skin color. When he pulls you over, you got problems.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So yeah, so you have to research your people, your candidates that you want to vote for. That's going to be for you and for your community. And you have the options there. Like you can go into Google, you can look them up, and find out who's good.
We don't. How do we get them though? I mean, we're talking what we need, but how do we get them to go? I mean, do we need Cardi B? I mean,
no, you have to go to community meetings. Community meetings. They have community newspapers that you can be able to.
How do we get
celebrities have power though, as you were saying, Carl. Like for example, Taylor Swift has one of the largest Twitter followings in the world, and she just went out on her Twitter thing and she's a Democrat, so she just went out on her Twitter thing and just told all these people that they need to go out and vote. Now, I don't know how much power she has, but I mean, she has a lot of people that love her and follow her, young people that follow her, on her platform. So she's pushing them to go out and vote. So it helps a little bit that people like that are getting these people out to vote, but I think the young people are going to vote. It's not the young. I think it's the middle-aged people that aren't voting. I think it's the people our age that aren't going out to vote. I think the young kids are listening to Taylor Swift. I think the college students are going to go out and vote in the midterms, especially white college students. I think it's the Black African Americans that aren't going out to vote.
No,
I think
you think we're not voting?
not in the midterms.
Voting?
Not in the midterms. We don't have a good track record of voting in the midterm elections.
Okay.
We sleep on midterm. Yeah, we go out and vote for the president, and like that, and then get mad when things don't go our way. But then we realize that we didn't even vote for Congress, and half time you got Congress that don't even want the president to be in there, so they're gonna veto everything he want to do that may help you. You know how long it took the George Floyd bill to go through, and most people haven't even read the George Floyd bill to realize that some of the stuff in there that will help us. But it went through eventually. But I mean, how many times? So I'm just saying. Research is important, man. We're not doing a lot of research. We just don't do a lot of research, man. So
why do people think that those racist white people would try so hard to keep us from voting? I mean, there's got to be a reason, right?
Because we are the people. The people are the one that run everything.
Right. Pay attention. If people pay attention, why would a billionaire spend $50 million to win an election for a job that's going to pay him $100,000 a year? You know what I mean? I mean, Bloomberg from New York, he spent $76 million 1 year to be mayor of New York City, and the mayor's job pays like what, $200,000 a year or whatever.
About 150,000 a year, yeah. Because power, baby. Power.
I was about to say, isn't that some type of manpower thing, a sword fight type thing?
Because he knows what he can do as mayor. I'm pretty sure he can change some laws to help his business. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what most of them do.
Right. So he might, I spent $76 million, but I can manipulate or change some laws, and I can make that money back. But that just tells me how important voting is. When people, I mean, there was a billionaire running for a president, and he was a Democrat, but he spent like $50 million of his money on a campaign to win. You know what I mean? He was running against Biden. That's when Biden was running.
I didn't know it was that expensive. Like,
so why would these people spend that kind of money to get elected? That's why Black people need to pay attention. But we're not paying attention. We're not. Cardi B has our attention, and it's true. Like, you know what I mean? It's like love and hip hop seems to have our attention. That kind of stuff gets a lot of black views.
No, they need to be worried about their medical.
Right,
You
but I'm
know,
saying
people need help with their medical, with teeth, with all of that. You
people
know,
are more interested in frivolous bullshit. You know what I mean? I don't know if it. I mean,
clothes and stuff.
yeah, like we are so. I we are so. I don't know. There's so much.
We're backwards in a lot of ways.
Yeah, you know, and I mean, I don't. I mean, there's a lots of things that Candace Owens says and Kanye and all people like that and black conservatives. But when they talk about stuff like this, our attention, we are focused on the wrong things.
Right.
And, I
And
don't
then
know.
we overlook the message.
We are focused on the wrong things. We care about shoes, Nikes, really like Nikes for $400 instead of buying a laptop or something for your kid. You probably buy him a pair of Nikes. And I mean, how do we need to? And I know it's not all black people. It's just a
No, it's not.
small segment, but that's a segment that for some reason gets blown up.
I'm so pissed that Payless went out of business.
I did get some nice shoes from Payless.
I've never owned a pair of Jordans in my life. I'll be honest with you. I've never been that guy that's going to go out and spend $400 or $300 on some tennis shoes. I've never owned a pair of Jordans. Not saying I don't have expensive shoes. I think most expensive shoes I have is probably like $50, and I was bitching about that, you know. So $50, $49 plus tax. This is some BS. You know?
Listen, I feel you. I bought one pair of Jordans, and I told them they better bury me in it. Yeah. And it was like $250 or something. I almost had a nervous breakdown, but I only bought it because his father pushed him to have this shoe line, and then he passed away right afterward. So that was just a salute to the father and him putting that shoe out there as a black man, because it wasn't done.
Yeah. So we I mean, like, you would see a new Harry Potter book comes out, you see a long line of white kids, one or two black kids in there maybe. A new pair of Jordans come out, you see a long line of black kids in that line.
You see who promotes fashion and who promote reading. You know, they're not promoting reading. They're promoting, oh, how you look, your best shoes, whatever. No, I'm not with it. It's too much.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not sure how we can make that shift. You know, I mean, a lot of people say it starts in the home. The parents have to push education.
Yes, please.
Instead of pushing video games and, you know, expensive shoes and all that kind of stuff. Why are Asians so more educated than everybody else in the world? It's not they're not born smart. It's not genetics. It's that their parents, you know what I mean? Their parents hammer them with education.
AKA tiger moms, because that's what they call them on the fashion streets. They call them tiger moms. Them tiger moms ain't no joke. They make sure they play 3 different instruments. You do math, science, what's going all by the time you're 5 years old. They do not play.
Why can't we? I mean, so I
do
think
the same for our children.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So we can blame society so much, but a lot of stuff we should be able to fix ourselves.
We are in control.
Yes. Okay, so we're gonna wrap it up. I want to thank everyone for jumping on tonight. Kevin, thank you for jumping on.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here, man. Pleasure to be here.
We thought you were off doing some, you know, entertainment.
Nah, man. I'm gonna miss the show tonight. I'm definitely a little late, but I got in here, man. So
I got your back, Kev. I was like,
thank you so much.
He's coming in 5 minutes. He coming in 5 minutes.
All right. It was 9 minutes. I made it. Okay.
All right. So before we break out, anything you learned or you want to share before we go, Kev?
Yeah, I just want to say definitely in this midterms, November 8th, which is my mom's birthday, by the way. I think we need to get out and vote in the midterms and vote for your local sheriff, vote for your local whatever. Just vote, you know, got to go vote because people died I mean, people are
Yes.
died. When I say, I'm not even exaggerating, died
Yes. Mega Evans.
back
Yes.
in the 60s. Medgar Evers, among others, died back in the 50s and 60s for voting rights. And the reason these people were killed is because they didn't want you to have voting rights. So
That's right.
people died so you can actually go and vote. So if you don't go vote, all these people died for no reason.
Yeah, not cutting you off, Kevin. I'm gonna let you go. But there was a guy named Reverend Lee. I was reading about him, and I watched a video. He was getting black people. I think he was one of the first black people that was allowed to vote. They told him he had to pay taxes. He did that. They passed all kinds of laws. He did all that, and he paid whatever. But they ended up driving up next to his car, putting a shotgun out the window, and shooting him in the head.
Yeah.
Because he was going to vote. He kept voting, and they shot him and killed him. And the people who shot him and killed him, the sheriff came to the scene and said he died from a car crash. And I said, but the guy has like shotgun pellets in his head.
That's how they was able to clear it up, and they didn't want him inspiring anybody else to vote.
I'm saying if people don't see that and see how important it is to vote.
That's right.
Why would anybody go to the extreme?
That's right, Pat.
So that right there should tell you. Sorry, Kev, for cutting you off, but I just wanted to.
No, that's all. That's all I wanted to say was just get out and vote. And they passed, and real quickly, they passed laws to make it hard, like the law down in Georgia. You're not allowed to give people water anymore while they stand in line, and that's just to affect that law was just basically to affect black senior citizens who are standing in line. That left, you can't vote on Sundays because a lot of times the church would get people on Sundays. They would organize buses to go out and vote. From the church, you leave church and you go to the voting booth. So now you can't vote on Sundays in certain places because who leaves on buses to go vote out from church? African Americans are mainly the ones that affect. So yeah, so little things like that affect the community. The Republicans are passing all these stupid laws to make sure you can't give people water in line or you can't vote on Sunday because, all this stupid crap, man. We have a holiday for Christopher Columbus, a guy who murdered thousands of people, but we can't make a day of voting a national holiday so everybody's off from work and can go vote. This country's ass backwards.
Tiffany,
I'm done.
What have you learned or what can you share with our audience today before we go?
Yeah. Again, thank y'all for chiming in, coming in with us. The same thing that Kev said, we want y'all to vote. Please vote. Go out there, find out about your council people, your council members, find out who's for your community, who's for you, that will be able to help you out. Also, we want to send prayers out to Kanye, regardless to what, he's a black man and I love him. And I know that we go through our ups and downs. Just be quiet and handle your business. If you're going to build empires, build empires. And that's it. I love everybody. Enjoy your week and make sure y'all tune in on Sundays at 7:00. We are here. Like, subscribe, and share.
Oh, and our email. The
Black Therapy Show at gmail.com.
Yes.
You can leave. Yeah.
Go ahead, Tiff.
Yeah, you can leave a message if you want to talk about something or you have a comment. Please just leave us a message. We would love to talk about it. And thank you so much to all that commented on our last show. We really are happy that everyone is interacting because we do want to have the conversation and find out what solutions that we can have.
Yeah,
and if Kanye West, if you're watching, can I borrow $1 million?
Okay, thank you, because we want to build some community centers, boxing clubs, supermarkets.
Borrow means you're gonna pay it back, Kev. You're gonna pay it back.
I'm not paying it back.
Oh, I'm gonna do some investing. I'll be able to pay it back in about a couple of years.
That's right. We gotta invest and build empires. That's what we're talking about. Give us a couple of them million.
All right, I want to thank everyone for watching the show. Thank you so much. Like I always say, please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so when we go live, get that notification. Thank you, Jeannie Springer. Thank you for checking in. Jeannie's fellow Bajan, from Barbados, checking in on the show. Bajan, that's what we are. We are Bajans.
Amen.
Beige for short, if you want to. Donna, thank you so much. Patricia Felix. Patricia came on looking for Kev. I know that.
Everybody was looking for me.
They be
Keep
sending
eye on that guy.
ABV out on you.
That's a sneaky woman move. Let me just check into the show because I haven't seen Patricia in a long time on the show. Never said anything, but today Kev wasn't on, so she's like, "If this nigga is on this show." Anyway, Patricia, you know I'm only playing. Thank you so much to everyone. Remember, please tell the people you love that you love them.
Yes.
Because they're not psychic. I just had a friend of mine whose daughter just died in a car accident.
Wow. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
My condolences.
They're a mess. You know what I mean? She was here today. She was only 32.
Yeah.
Wow.
A 5-car pileup in Massachusetts. And that's gone, and they're devastated. I mean, she was just on Facebook recently doing videos, having a great time. Nobody expected that day would be their last day.
Right. Oh.
I'm just saying that to let you know that you never know what day is your last or what day is the person you love, what is their last. So tell them how much you love them, how much you care about them. I know it's hard. It's not easy for people to say, I love you. My mom didn't tell me she loved me until I was like 46. So, yeah, a long time.
Oh.
It's all right. I'm good. It's just, you know what I mean? Some people, it comes easy for some people. It doesn't for others, you know. And
that is true. That is definitely true.
Yeah.
That is so true.
There's some people that can love you with all their heart, but they just can't say it, you know. And there's some people that can hate your guts and say it easily.
But that would change a child's life just by hearing a mother or a father say, I love you.
Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, it doesn't.
Well, I love you guys, and I also love Kanye West to send us the money.
Yes, we need that money, Kanye. Okay, I'll be his advisor, his mad interpretator.
Donate $1 million to the Black Therapy Show.
Yeah.
Come on, we want to talk to you.
We need to build a studio for this show and do it live from the studio.
Kanye, please, your girl, I love you.
All right.
All right, y'all.
All right.
Oh shit.
All right. Thanks to everyone again. And like I said, we're gonna leave right now. And please, like, did Kev fall or something?
No, Kevin's out. He's about to work.
Oh, he's at a show? I didn't know.
I think he was at a show or something.
All right. Patricia said, I love you all. Patricia, we love you too. You know that. But we love you very much. We appreciate you checking in with us.
Thank you.
Jeannie Springer, thank you for checking in. Donna, I'm not going to get everyone, so please forgive me.
Thank you all for checking in.
Grandma Staley, Norma, we love you so much. And I mean that. I'm not just saying that. You know, you guys take an hour of your Sunday to check in with us, and we truly appreciate it. All right, we're out.
New time Sunday at 7.
Break away from the chains. We helping you grow. The Black Therapy Show. You be in a safe space dealing with the black trauma. We unpacking and inspecting all our baggage and drama. Cause we gotta unite. No more killing each other. It's time to see a new future for my sisters and brothers. You know, with Kevin, Carl, and Tiffany, you'll have an epiphany. We'll give you everything you need to handle the enemy. We be giving you empathy. We gon' challenge you mentally. The right conversation so you grow exponentially. We built your penitentiaries, we built all your schools. Gave us brainwash education, just making us fools. Hatred is what we got in exchange for love. No more manipulation from my God up above. No, it's Carl, Kevin, and Tiffany. Now welcome to the Black Therapy Show. Let's go.